All right. Let's do it.
Lone Druid first ban. Okie dokie.
Yeah, that hero's been doing pretty well. Although Boom ID lost with it, but
Yeah.
they also lost against it. So they're probably like, well, we can't win with it. We can't win against it. Let's just ban it. That seems like the next best solution.
So they do have first pick, and what did they first pick?
Tigers chose to be second pick.
Okay. So they get the last
from
pick.
what I saw in the lobby.
I think that's fair. I think second pick is good.
Yeah, especially when there's like a new patch or uncertain. It's very unclear what the top meta pick is. So it's not like this first pick has tremendous value.
Yeah.
It still makes me think of like the Grimstroke versus IO if we're gonna get one of those two, but you need an IO player, so.
Even the IO doesn't necessarily feel like some insta OP win hero. Like, yeah, IO Gyro is good and maybe the best combo in Dota, but I don't think it's like an insta free win.
My issue with leaving IO in the pool is that, like, no matter how behind you are or how late in the game you go with IO, you can always win. Like, you can always make some relocate play where you can take a fight that in any other game you would not be able to take. So, like, even if your heroes without the IO wouldn't be better in the late game, like, with the IO they are. They're a better late game hero just because of how you can play the map. It's like having Batrider on your team as well. Like, no matter what, that hero can get an initiation that's good enough that you can win the late game. Very similar sort of thing. Like, it just changes how the game is played, which is why Bat was strong for so long.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
Oh, we got some updates from our producer. Mineski 2-0'd low tech. I didn't hit the spoiler thing before that. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. There's so much Dota going on. People don't have time to watch VODs and stuff, you know.
That's fair.
We're not watching VODs when we get home. We already established that.
Yeah.
Actually, Jenkins was.
I'm gonna
sorry
watch
to throw you under the bus again.
And I want to make some YouTube videos, man.
But that means we get Mineski versus Fnatic. That's like one of the big. That's the SEA rivalry. As much as TNC is one of the top SEA teams and top 2 right now, the team that did the best at the major, the Mineski Fnatic rivalry goes further back.
It was so interesting when I was like looking at the stats for the teams going into TI and stuff, and it blew my mind that Mineski had only been to TI 1 up until this last TI.
Yeah, they've been trying so hard and for so long to make like a team to get back there.
It just feels like such an institution. It is going to be the Grimstroke, and they left IO in, so we'll see if they decide to take the IO Gyro versus Grim.
I mean, I think there's no way you don't pick it.
Tigers plays IO Gyro. I've seen that.
If anything,
before.
they're just thinking like, why did they leave? Why did they leave the IO? What is
the
plan?
Just don't overthink it. Just pick it.
Every time somebody overthinks it, it just doesn't go well.
Yeah.
When you don't pick the overpowered hero, it's like, what are they? And then you give them the IO plus the Grimstroke because you overthought it. I mean, he's probably going to use all of the time just because. Oh, maybe not. I was going to say just because they're thinking, but actually thinking about this first pick a lot.
Dire team pick.
Huh.
If they're thinking that Boom ID don't take it themselves,
wow.
Okay.
Then they could potentially get it second phase because now you have to ban out like an IO potentially.
Yeah. I don't think IO Grimstroke is a great support duo personally.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that being the combo.
Man, I feel it's at least for the lanes it's fine because you just run the IO in the safe lane with the IO combo and the Grimstroke in the off lane. The problem is that the Grimstroke can play both roles. What's the pause? There's a pause happening. I'm hearing a pause.
Yeah.
Admins.
Maybe the admins pause.
Did they?
Oh, they paused earlier.
They misclicked. They accidentally.
Okay.
They accidentally didn't pick IO Gyro.
What's going on?
I don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
Huh? What?
Right. I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
5 seconds
All right,
remaining.
admins.
Things.
The admin silence. We'll take that as saying it's all okay.
Okay.
All right.
Or that he's on the toilet as well.
I think Lyrical just has the admin muted from a pub.
No doubt.
This guy mutes everybody.
I did actually hop into a game one time, and then I like opened it up because I wanted to get what the players were, and then I realized I had Jo muted. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever played a game with him. I don't know how it happens.
Maybe party queue, man. I've seen you party queue with some high skill people.
That's true.
Maybe you'll get in solo or.
I soloed Inflame when he was playing Bat Raider in one game when I was in China. Solo kill them.
Nice.
Felt good.
Damn. Should coach a team.
Yeah, that's right. Should coach Inflame.
He should. he clearly needs it.
You've got the credentials to do that. Yeah,
10 seconds
You're-
remaining.
You're set. So, was Monkey banned last game,
5
I
seconds
want to say?
remaining.
Maybe banned second stage so they didn't get it.
Yeah.
That seems like a likely thing because Tigers love this hero. This is their bread and butter.
Monkey was not
Oh.
Okay.
banned or picked.
It was just ignored.
Just ignored.
JK, guys.
So they're just completely flipping around their drafts.
So we got the
Why the hell
Inkswell Brewmaster. That seems pretty good. Is it good enough to beat Monkey King in lane?
Radiant team.
I don't know.
Someone was telling me this is like one of the most powerful lanes right now. Was it you?
I think it
Maybe.
is. I don't know if it was me, but
Might have been you. Someone's just like, man, this Grimstroke Brewmaster lane is just. Phew.
I'm making a video soon on most broken dual lanes, and I have 2, and that's one of them. The other one is Brew Chen.
Okay.
Is what, sir?
Brew Chen.
Brew Chen, okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
This hero is very
10
effective.
seconds
Brew Lich is
remaining.
really good too.
Where, can,
Any
where can we catch this video?
DotaAlchemy.com.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay.
No.
Dota Alchemy YouTube channel.
Alright.
Give that a gander.
Alright.
That's
Good
the
to know.
only time
Dire
I've
team
plugged
back.
my own.
Nice.
I've never done it before. You asked for
It's.
it.
I bet say you didn't even really. Yeah, I set you up. You had to.
I've been good about it, man.
Dire
I'm not
team
trying to,
pick.
you know. But when you bring it up, I'll take it. So, took a while in those bans.
Yeah.
I like the
Doesn't look
TA
like it's
second, the
similar.
TA second phase ban. I feel like this hero is very similar to the Broodmother, where you almost always last ban it. So why not just save that last ban for something that you really want to
10
ban, and just get the
seconds
TA out earlier if you don't know what else to ban.
And it's scary because they can pick it before
5
going into their last ban
seconds
because it's they don't have last pick. So
True,
they're-
they have the pick and then
Yeah.
ban.
they'll fourth pick their mid hero and then ban like a Husker.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
that's
surprised this is the first
very
game
common.
we've actually seen this. Like, I haven't seen this happen
Radiant team
Yeah,
pick.
because the TA has always been that pick,
Yep.
that second to last pick.
It's such a common thing, you know. This 8th pick TA ban Husker, and then they're limited in what they can. run
Exactly,
mid.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
All right, well, you can pick like the Ember, but it doesn't really beat TA mid. It just goes okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Monkey King that bad against TA mid. I guess.
I think Monkey King's the TA counter actually,
That's
because
what, that's what I would have
you
thought.
take the
Seconds
refraction off
remaining.
with the hits, and then your Jingu's up once the
Yeah.
refraction is off.
5 seconds.
Yeah, they obviously maybe don't feel that strongly that it's a counter. Or Boom ID just has a sick TA player.
It's the same thing with the TA though. You could just go jungle. Like the hero's going to do pretty fine no matter what,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because she can legitimately jungle so fast.
Yep.
In the low levels compared to a lot of these other heroes.
They may
Dire
also want the
team
Monkey
pick.
King down there against the Brewmaster lane.
That's true. Yeah.
I feel like this
Oh,
hero's being
jeez.
underpicked. This Morph is still such a good hero.
Oh yeah.
You guys ready for the 8 adaptive strikes?
In the 12-minute Roshan,
There you go.
I'm ready.
So what do we got? As far as steals go, nothing super crazy right now for the Morphling on the enemy team.
10
Jakira's
seconds
kinda
They have
cool.
3 stuns, so Jakira, Monkey King, Rubik, all of stuns, which is
5
Yeah.
seconds.
pretty good to steal
remaining.
Morphling. Just set yourself up in fights. Hero doesn't really have a great stun because when you morph to fully strength, you don't do any damage. So it's nice to morph to Agi, seal stun, use your own stun to kill your opponent. You know what? Actually, if he gets the morph targets allies ability too and picks up the brew, and then gives himself the crit,
The Drunk Brawler.
Oh,
that
yeah.
seems kind of sick.
Yeah. What's the duration on that? It's like.
It's like 8 seconds.
Oh, what's that one? Jeez.
6
Okay.
seconds.
That's pretty good.
Let's go.
Let me actually look it up. I don't want to be wrong about these numbers. Just
I just
It's-
assumed it was like a 5-ish seconds. I don't remember the numbers. Learning what these new spells did was hard
Is
enough,
it
you know.
is it a buff or does it just like
Radiant
the
team
ability
pick.
go on cooldown? I guess it has to be a buff.
Okay. This is what VP used to always pick against, like stuff like Morphling. It was just like, let's run a Doom.
oh, it's 5 seconds. You're right.
Okay.
Still,
Not
still,
crazy.
still kind
That's
of.
still pretty good. You have to just go right back into your Morphling.
Damn,
form
you didn't even
afterwards.
know. You just guessed.
I
You're
totally.
right.
I honestly.
You've been.
I know what the spell did, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what sounds balanced? 8 seconds sounds too long to be balanced.
Right.
you should make games.
10
What the hell?
seconds remaining.
I'm impressed.
I've been around, you know. I can see into Ice Frog's mind.
5 seconds remaining.
You
You
are
actually
God.
are
God's is
Ice
Ice
Frog.
Frog.
That's
God's is Ice Frog. He's been
going on
around,
here.
man.
That's why I've spoken like every 10 minutes something wrong about the new patch. It's like, all right, let's write this new patch and then go and cast it and not know anything about what's in it.
It's all part of the facade.
So a lot of regen in this lane against the Morph lane, Who do they put in there as like a support to sort of help out against it? Probably Jakiro Doom?
What we got
Dire
left?
team ban.
It's going to be their other core, I guess, for now.
Mid lane Mirana, very similar to the possibly mid lane.
They can do morph, yeah.
They can do
depending on the
morph,
matchup,
yeah,
they may send the
depending.
morph there. And if it's a bad matchup, you send Mirana, and Mirana doesn't have to
I'll
necessarily
bet you
win
it's
the lane.
safe lane Brew again, and then Mirana off
Oh,
lane.
yeah, could be the 3 position. Yeah, they're pretty flexible with their heroes here.
10 seconds remaining.
Whereas Tigers, though, do have that final pick of the draft, and they've left it open whether they pick a
5
mid or a
seconds remaining.
carry, given that Monkey King can play both. So their last hero can go either place.
So they need a mid laner carry.
You know what I want to see? I want to see them go AA
On Boom ID? Or
on Tigers.
on Tigers? As a core AA, I guess?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. It's excellent against the Morphling. His morph just does nothing. Unless it changed with the morph changes, but I don't think it
I
did.
think it stays the same.
Radiant team
Because
ban.
HP, his, like,
Good.
yeah, when he increases HP, it stays the same, right?
It's the type of hero that I think
Percentage-wise.
fits well with this like type of
I don't
meta
say
we're
so.
seeing.
No.
It still is going to do a lot in the late game. He's able to like really just cause havoc all around the map once he hits 6.
So Earth Spirit Band. It does feel like Boom ID don't have any real amazing way to start fights. Brewmaster can blink him with the
10
ultimate,
seconds
but
remaining.
there's no like
Radiant
insta
team
stun.
pick.
There's also no setup for arrow really, like at least not any amazing setup. So some kind of utility stunning initiator hero or just like a stable support, like the Bane
Bane.
could be Bane Mirana. It's classic, could work to be honest. It's not an amazing initiator like once you get past the lane stage, but it gives you some extra lockdown.
10 seconds remaining.
You could also go Shadow Demon, a little bit of save for the morph.
Oh yeah, I quite like that
5
idea.
seconds remaining.
Good against Doom, like super tanky frontline hero. You could actually kill him by reducing his current HP by 40%.
You know what? Honestly, they could just go Io.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are we talking about?
They're not going to, because if they're going to pick Io, they would
No.
have picked it already, right? Surely they're saying we don't play Io. Io versus Doom sounds great.
That does
like
sound
a
great.
Doom
Io
counter.
Io Morphling is like a pretty effective combo too.
They're not doing it though. Or I hope they are.
If I had to guess, if you put a gun on my head and said, "Hey,
Dire
you got to
team
guess what
pick.
Tiger's last pick is," I was gonna say DK or Invoker, but now I'd say it's probably Invoker. Tinker also looks reasonably okay. Maybe not so much against the Batrider, but there's not much they can do to pressure a Tinker.
What are we looking at? I think is Brewmaster
Same thing.
support now. I guess.
Seems
Could
like
be.
Yeah, we saw Jabs played early in a 5 position.
Could
so.
also be Bat support. I know that
10
Bat could
seconds remaining.
run down a Doom in the lane. Maybe they'll do.
Brew sounds better for securing morphs lane though.
5
Like you just
seconds
run at
remaining.
people with your crit. Like that's Jabs was just like, all right, my carry's farming, and I'm just gonna run at you. And that was with the Drow game against the Axe, where it's just like,
I think Bat core against Monkey King is very, very good. Get that early blink. You just blink on the tree. Like he can't go on trees ever.
Yeah.
This is one of the best counters to Monkey King in the game. You can also just pull him out of his own ultimate or flame break him out, and then you also have a Jakiro on the enemy team who has like the slowest turn rate in Dota. So you get 1 stack of napalm on him, and his life is hell.
yeah, get
You
the
now select your
Okay.
Bat
heroes.
lane counter of sorts.
Is Weaver? So they're gonna do a Monkey King mid. I don't know. What if you just put the Bat against the Monkey King? I feel like you just follow the Monkey King or with Batrider.
And then put the Mirana in the off lane.
Yeah.
I really don't like the Tigers draft.
I don't know how Weaver right now just doesn't feel amazing on this new patch. Like things are going kind of fast. The hero got some small little nerf. Like the bug gets prioritized more was I think the one thing I remember.
I think that's a big nerf.
Yeah.
the
Wow.
bug
Yeah, it's definitely a nerf.
the bug it was so annoying that if you click the ground next to a creep and the bug
Yeah.
bug was closer, you would hit the creep for some reason.
The plus side of it is that it's a hero that like loves picking up Wraith bands.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That is
I
true.
think he's gonna be really strong with those, but I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird. Like you've got Grimstroke Lasso.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That does sound really good. Lasso does damage now
Yeah.
as well, so if you have stacks of sticky napalm
Mhm.
on the 2 lasso targets, they're going to take a massive amount of damage from the lasso itself.
And then Morphling also with Grimstroke. Like it's maybe committing a lot onto that combination, but it's like also these heroes are just good in a vacuum too, even if you don't have that so blind.
They have the Mirana Moonlight Shadow combo too with the Batrider initiation. It's really easy to just Moonlight Shadow around the enemy jungle, around vision, and then you set up for like a perfect... I mean, that hero basically gives you free smokes. And Batrider, the way this hero functions is he gets pickoffs with the lasso and with smokes. Right. So having the Mirana on your team is super, super effective. I've actually seen the Batrider outlane a Weaver by going for max Q and then max in the Flame Break as well. It's a weird thing, but I think the player should have also gone for at least 1 point in the Firefly. But still, the principle makes sense. You know, I do think there are ways to lane the Weaver. I don't think he will, but I think you can.
All right. Well, it's do or die. Boom ID. If they lose this one, they are out of the Southeast Asia qualifiers for the next major in China.
I'm very curious to see how Boom ID looks to lane this. I think if they do traditional lanes, they're just playing into the Tiger's hand. And if we've learned anything from watching Virtus Pro play, for example, is that even if their lanes look 10% unfavorable and they can get a little bit better of lanes by swapping them, they will put a goddamn Enigma in the mid lane if they have to. If it means they can get 10% better lanes.
Yeah.
So if there's anything to take from like the best team, it's
be willing to put your offlane player in the mid lane
if
the game calls for it.
Yeah, the like versatility in the lanes is super, super important. So. They value it highly. Love that taunt.
Did you have a pogo stick when you were a kid?
Yeah.
How many hops could you do? What's like? Did yours count how many you were doing?
No. I want to say I could get up to like 10 or something.
10?
Yeah.
I could do like 3, and then I'm done.
So
mine it capped out at 999. I never got to 999, but I could do like a couple hundred. Like it was like this fancy electric one. I remember my parents got it for me for Christmas, and I was just like addicted to it for like a month. And then I got bored of shit. I was like, this present's done.
I was a very fat, unathletic, pathetic child.
That's true. I was a skinny bean of a kid who played
sports
5 days a week. Okay. So I don't know where I went wrong after that, but
that's how you got in shape. Actually, was the pogo stick. That's what started your athletic career.
I was a kid who loved doing skip rope for exercise.
That is one of the best
hours of skip rope.
The little stop! No. I mean, Zephyr's still. He's not where he wants to be.
Oh, and the mid Mirana gets it.
That is nice. Some great bend components.
Yep.
Well, Tigers get 2.
2 for 2 runes.
Okay, so no lane swapping happening.
Well,
are they?
Yeah, we do see the Doom is running top.
Okay, the mid lane is perhaps the lane swap mid at least against the Monkey King that we thought might happen. The Batrider is not happening.
Oh, they're just okay. So Doom running top. They want the Weaver, of course, against the Batrider.
Yep.
I'm not sure if Boom ID knew this was happening and they would be fine with safe laning the Bat versus the Weaver. I know the dynamic is a little different when you have the pull available to you. It's not so Weaver favored. So possibly they knew this was happening and they're okay with this.
Fervian's going to take some harassment here. Came to lane with 6 tangos, has a stick now and a salve, so should have more than enough regen to sort of survive here, at least for a while.
He's on full agi. He's not afraid of much here.
Oh, went for the early stick.
Ajit. Takes a good bit of damage there.
It's pretty low off of this. So.
The thing with I don't think he should max flame break necessarily, but definitely wants an early point in it because if he flame breaks the Weaver there, he takes half his HP and damage, and this is not such a Weaver favorite lane. The problem is when you just max the Firefly as if it's a regular Batrider lane. It's not. You really want to punish this Weaver.
And giving Weaver all these stick charges just means he can have like this unlimited Shikuchi.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly.
Once again, he goes in, does some good damage, but Weaver's got plenty of HP regen, and even the mana, this higher mana cost of Shikuchi from like some of the recent nerfs is just not applicable because of the stick charges.
And 100 damage at level 1 on the Sakuchi, he can actually get a lot of harass with those free stick charges. It's not just like he's using it to save himself. he's also able to apply a bunch of damage, get a bunch of last hits.
Regardless, Weaver not getting much farm in the lane, while Bat getting 9 CS so far.
Yeah, needs to be careful, and we'll be watching for it. I'm curious if this Bat Rider is going to end up going for bracers or the null tally, because the spell lamp seems like it could be pretty good too.
Yep.
Monkey King can, I guess, mischief dodge arrow, right? Because it's just invulnerability.
That's a That's a good question.
I was wondering about that with like Gust too. You know what I mean? Like, does he get pushed back by it still? Like, there's a bunch of weird ones I haven't seen yet. And
I mean, it's invulnerability, so you have to be able to even map to dodge that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just the arrow, like, even if it travels through you, as long as the AoE is on you, like, I think.
I guess is 0.3 seconds long enough for the arrow to go all the way through.
I think technically, if it.
Because you may be able to, because it goes through your body, and then if you come out of invuln, then it's still on top of you.
Yeah, exactly. I think technically you would be able to dodge it if the arrow wasn't so slow.
Yeah, so that might be a borderline one, or
like
very hard to time one. Maybe.
Yeah, but Gust, like for sure, you can dodge Gust.
So far, taking a look at the CS, Radiant a little bit ahead across, well, a couple of the lanes.
Harass doesn't really do much to a Doom. Like, I feel like Brew being in this lane it's securing the a few CS, but Doom does not care with level 2 in the Devour. Walk up and crit me, see if I care.
Big wave under this tower. Oh yeah, you mess up those last hits, Doom.
Might mess up more than just last hits. Yes.
Don't think, let's say, don't right-click this Doom. You gotta try to punish the Jakiro.
Runs up to the high ground. God.
Meanwhile, Grimstroke trying to chase down this Rubik. Let's have another stroke of fate here in a second, but well, Zephyr gets it broken.
He wasn't going to maybe waste that mana until he saw the regen rune. He's like, all right,
God,
I'm not having that anymore.
That was a nice snipe. Right at the end of the animation for that. Okay, so he did go for a point in the flame break, which I think is very good. Against a lot of other heroes, you might not, just because the mana cost between the Flame Break and the Firefly, it's honestly too much. You need a bottle or something like that to sustain it. Even then, it's your entire mana pool to use those 2 spells. And then your lasso is 250 mana.
Yeah, do you even want to go lasso at level 6 at this point? Maybe not.
It's nice because you can kill these like Juggernauts and these Weavers and Life Stealers if they let you get a couple stacks on them and you walk up and get the last off, especially with the damage now. I think some sort of regen item would be great, or a bunch of null tallies would also work, because that gives him the mana. So he does have a null tally.
Okay.
I'm worth so much more.
Pops the mango and just heads back into there again.
Also null tally for the value too.
Yeah.
I would like to see a second point in the Flame Break before he goes for the second point in Firefly. Extra damage is actually enough to kill off a Weaver.
Look at Zephyr here. He wants him.
Sleep charges though, so not an easy kill by any means.
Pull back. Got him slow. There's going to be a boundless strike, and now suddenly moving in. Gonna be able to find that stun onto Zephyr and
Arrow. I'm not going to go for anything.
He's making space.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk, guys.
Kind of dead here, but
Oh,
yeah.
Doom
Oh,
dies.
Moonlander. How does Doom die?
I mean, this is a lot of space created.
Even Mirana's happy. I was like, all right, they ganked me, and I end up with a bit of free fun.
Free lane, yeah.
And hopefully a rune here. That would be amazing, but unfortunately it spawns bottom. No luck for this poor Mirana. And it's a D-rune at that.
I mean, she's not so poor though. Look at this.
Out-leveling Monkey, so having a much better time here is...
Yeah, that is
find some kill.
that is definitely the issue with running this Weaver into bat. You know, it's like the supports can still die. If it's a 2v2, there's still kill potential there. If it's a 1v1, yeah, sure. Lane is going to be bat favorite, or Weaver favorite. Support, you just feed off the support.
And just spam that Devour.
I like you can feel the change where you don't have to consume the creep ability. It's just keeping that clap right now.
Yeah,
it's so
it's
nice.
really nice.
It's a big quality of life change.
Zephyr might be able to make something happen here. Tries to pull it back in.
And he's got one leap. Leap and Shrine? He was holding the leap. That was some discipline.
I thought he might just turn and kill Zephyr, but...
The Fate Bolt damage reduction was
good call.
going to make it too hard. I think it was a right-click battle he would lose without, and like a Starstorm coming back up.
Bat Rider under fire. Tries to throw some more back the other direction, but still has a bug on him. Ajit chasing underneath tower. Is he going to die? Yes. Okay.
Bat is such a terrible hero for killing that bug. He does not right-click fast at all.
Oh no, Grimstroke.
Painted into a corner.
He really was painted into a corner there, wasn't he?
His ink was swelling all over the place. So does Doom doom him? Yes, indeedy duty.
Oh, they actually back off?
You got the morph strength
Oh,
off.
because you got the strength of, yeah.
Hard to see with the Doom on.
It is.
It's so hard to play Doom against morph for that reason. I mean, at the same time, if you do get the Doom off without him getting morph strength, it's usually a kill, but the wind-up just makes it so difficult.
Because you know it's coming. As soon as he's hit 6, you know that they want to Doom him.
That is one thing that I do feel about this hero with the on the new patch. It's slow. In a lot of ways.
Also going to go down. Boom, making it work up top here.
Dire are scanning.
This sort of leaves open a good amount of room also for this Mirana to push in towards mid, try to get some damage onto the tower. Zephyr will pull it past with that Fade Bolt. And bottom lane, looks like Bat Rider just trying to hold on for the moment. Does not have a point in his lasso, and well, the Monkey King finds the finish, while mid lane leaping forward, killing off Zephyr.
All right.
And those bugs make the game so hard for Bat, because the way he usually gets away from you is just running through the trees and juking up and down so that you have to follow him in this like zigzag, and he just is out of vision because the trees will block you from vision. With the bugs, you just have permanent vision.
Silence. Chase. It was pretty good. Almost able to get the kill. He has an arrow, but
Didn't want to commit. I think if he leaps in, he might get the kill, but he almost certainly dies.
Yeah, especially with the new Monkey King invulnerability. If he uses that, dodge an auto attacker too, maybe.
that could have even been a bait play then a little bit by the, the Monkey King.
I think that's what he was maybe expecting. Like, oh, this guy wants me to run in here.
Right, Morphling has his mask. Is it Roche time?
We'll see.
Triple Wraithband mask with the wand, and then once he hits treads, he might be able to do it. Did the morph that we saw do it have Yasha when he went for it, or was it just the treads?
I think it was just a bunch of Wraithbands and lifesteal.
Yeah.
I
think it may have been this items plus treads.
Yeah,
perhaps,
I think so.
Well, that's what he's building for. So let's see if it. I mean, that would put it about the right time for a 12-minute Roche, as looks like Moon able to get that bounty rune, force him away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Did Moon go for second points in the B? Okay, so he went for Scorched Earth. Level 1. I guess there's not much harassing he can really do in that lane against like a Morphling who's just going to abuse the stat morph to heal up all the time. May as well go for the Scorched Earth for some kill potential.
So you were saying that it's around that 12-minute mark. What is it that like Morphling needs somebody else to tank it for him at all, or?
I think yeah, you probably want one hero just to tank it with you. It's a little too early exactly to solo it, but.
And you also maybe don't feel like you can just waddle on in when there's dire vision.
Exactly.
You'd have to smoke or at least have vision of the enemy like on the bottom side of the map, which you right now see quite a few heroes down there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Moonlight Shadow.
Dire's structures
Living for
are
the moment.
fortified.
He could think about initiating here as they drop the Sentry Ward though, and now they immediately know, and Bat Rider looking like he might just end up dying. There is no other great way to take this fight. Fervy and seeing if he can chase down this Rubik. Does still have the waveform, gonna jump forward for that one and gets the kill. In the meantime, looks like Grimstroke will escape, but they get the courier kill. Okay, silence on Jakiro, and a couple of different trades being used there.
2 kills for Boom ID, but the courier is as good as a kill, essentially. So
I can't help but think that this Bat doesn't need to have anywhere near this bad of a game if they just lane swap at some point. Well, okay, now it's
or
happening.
he just starts mid. Like
or he starts he starts mid.
Because Weaver doesn't really want to play mid lane.
But the thing is, you can even like if you want to lane swap, and even if you have to TP or walk somewhere, like you can rotate to a lane and get a kill and stay there with another core while the enemy team is trying to figure out the lanes. Like, I know the Weaver's going to follow the bat, right? But if you sit the bat in a lane with another core and you just play him as like a pseudo support for a minute or two, you can actually get a lot out of that if you kill people. Then you can also just build differently where you're not going to lose to the Weaver solo. Or send 3 heroes to the bot lane. Just allowing that lane to be countered is definitely an issue. At least in this game. Like, he's 3,000 net worth. The Jakiro almost has more net worth than the Batrider has.
It's been a rough one for him. I mean, likewise, though, the main thing you're looking for is that Blink Dagger, which is still about 1,000+ gold away from. If he's able to get into that, maybe that's when you can start to play a little bit of catch-up. But like you said, possibly not necessary given what happened.
Yeah, I think just laning normally against a Weaver is just exactly what Tigers wants.
Moon has Doom again.
I'm not sure he's going to be hunting for a morph once more after what happened last time. Maybe just be this tanky frontliner and start taking some objectives. I think Tigers are feeling pretty strong right now.
They go in though. Arrow going to connect after the fact, but they are starting to. The Inkswell out as well, gets the stun onto 2. Fervian doing a lot of damage in that fight. They take down both of them, and good for 1437 afterwards. Chasing forward with the brew split, easy peasy. Boom.
Getting some great value out of the first brew split. Such a big level 6 to get on a support, and they instantly win a fight and get a tower.
You know, another reason that this brew hero can be played as a support, we talked about the trading aspect of the Drunken Brawler, but you can also just gap close really easily with it. Like, you don't even need a Blink Dagger to set up a brew split with this hero anymore, because you just press E and then you walk in at basically hasted movement speed. You're right on top of them. You can use the clap, and then you can just ult it. You don't need a blink at all.
Hello, Monkey King.
Okay, that was a bit of a flub.
Yeah, and meanwhile, top lane, they're using the Moonlight Shadow to see if they can find Ajit, but looks like he is going to escape for now. Scan comes out.
Does clip the Grimstroke.
Oh, wait, but he's going to see Grim, yeah.
God, Weaver does so much damage to him. Got what, Diffusal Blade? Plus a bunch of raid bans, probably.
No Doom, but looks like Brew is still just going to get ran down here.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
So 15-minute mark, bounty runes. Look like most of them are going to go the way of Tigers unless Boom are able to come and contest.
Trying to contest some of these top ones. Moon, this is 2 bounty runes in a row. He's being contested and he just wins these right-click battles.
Oh, Grimstroke though, moving in. There's the double lasso combo coming through with the Morphling as well. Beautiful play. That's why that hero gets banned.
Grimstroke, Dota, let's go. That's what we've been waiting for. We've seen a few Grimstrokes today, but the first nice kind of ganking combo out
There's
of it.
just no way both heroes die there if it's not Grimstroke. Oh, God.
You left the bounty rune behind.
Fervian finds another.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's just the Jakiro pushing Super D. He's getting.
That's expected. Yeah, it doesn't.
1437. There we go. No problem. The old school, the Pylite eye deaths.
The prize is
Gonna go for that. Lincolns does not want to get doomed in these fights if at all possible. But yeah, it's showing the strength and why this was a pretty nice combo.
The Rubik spell steal. Yeah, he actually blinked away from that. I think a lot of bat players don't blink from that because it's just like, it's just a Rubik. But the monkey had the Q lined up. He was casting it.
So Morphling right now is feeling large and in charge.
Yeah, Tigers were kind of doing pretty good with this Weaver dominating the bat, but last few minutes has seen a big swing the other way. Morphling's going to have a pretty good time. Stealing Weaver's form is pretty nice for him, and isn't going to be an easy to deal with Morphling when all they've really got is the Doom, which isn't going to feel all that great when Morphling has Lincolns.
Yeah, and I think Morph is naturally good against Doom too, because you can just transform to the Doom, steal the Devour, get a bunch of free regen, steal the Scorched Earth, use the Scorched Earth, switch back to the Morphling. All of a sudden, you're just Morphling with Doom's abilities on you at the same time.
They are thinking about going for the Doom right there. They end up getting it onto the Brewmaster. It's position 5, but pretty good if you can take him out of the fight right from the get-go. Grim trying to run away, been taking that damage over time from the bugs. He ends up going down. So 2 heroes already dead. The heavy team fighters are gone.
The pings come out on that ward. That high ground ward was extremely crucial for that fight. Ward and a sentry allows them to see the Bat Rider. He looks to doom the Bat because if they can doom the Bat, the initiation is screwed. If they can doom the Brew, then they don't get the Brew split off. Like, there's so many good doom targets, and that ward just gave him like total vision of what was happening in that engagement.
Really good also to get that ice path without that much setup at all.
Yeah.
Hit on the 2 of them.
What is Zephyr got planned here? Maybe hoping just for a spell steal.
Yeah, there's nobody in the area. Tree sitting. This is a common tactic.
Maybe he's waiting for a more juicy spell to come by. Whoa, runs into someone.
Hello!
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jakiro's going to go down. But it looks like Zephyr's just going to TP out.
He's just being a pain.
Is under attack.
And should be the D ward coming through, as you mentioned. Top tier 1 tower goes down. Chase forward, though. Wonder Kid, wanting to find it. Okay.
What's the opposite of regicide?
Damn, they really defended that ward. First with the Rubik, then the monkey. Basilius, we have a Basilius.
Oh.
The Doom actually changed. I see a lot of Dooms right now. Just going the casual ring of protection and then eventually sell it.
Looks like Wonder Kid gonna go down there as well.
That's what you get.
I think Tigers are being buying. I think it was Zephyr who was buying when he was playing the Grimstroke, was it? I think it was the Grimstroke player, Bull Bassi. So we are seeing, some people paying respects to the Forgotten Ring of Aquila.
The pushing power that comes from it is really nice. Like, gives your creeps like a couple extra hits with the tower.
Yeah. Can build into Vlad's later, seems pretty nice.
Doom's definitely like a good Vlad's carrier.
Yeah. God, Bat Rider was such a good pick this game. Even
It's
though
so
he had the
good,
rough laning stage, like
It's one of the few heroes that actually kills the Doombringer despite all of his regen and massive amounts of armor and items that he builds. There's nothing you can build to survive the Bat Rider napalms. Like, that's another thing we talked about, like the Invoker being really good, the Zeus, the Tinker being really good because they do this like persistent damage. Like, no matter how much defenses you have, these heroes will kill you. Bat Rider's the same. This damage over time amplified by the sticky napalm, he can kill anybody, no matter how tanky they are.
And it always feels rough to play Doom when it's hard to get into the fight to get a good Doom off. If there's something there that can stun you or like lasso and insta just blow you up, it makes your life so much trickier.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And with the lasso, like, they can actually kill the Doom because you have the bat damage on top. So
Morphling's going to be doing plenty of damage as well with his farm and net worth right now. So
oh yeah,
does feel like Boom ID in a slightly better position right now. The net worth pretty even between the two teams, but
it's a Manta style of Monkey King.
yeah, I noticed that.
I've seen this more and more. With like the 2 forms of dodge. But
It's also kind of good for the Soulbind, because I think he can Soulbind to illusions, right?
yeah.
So save your team a little bit if he's the one that gets hit, or save yourself if somebody else does and you're too nearby.
It makes you harder to lasso too. You just drop the illusions and Bat Rider's like, oh, I don't know which one.
Moonlight Shadow, Sentry Ward already down, waiting for Moon as he is trying to bait this out. They also placed an Observer Ward up on the high ground. This spots out Fervian, the
Man,
Monkey
if
King there.
Bat Fireflies, like, they could. That's a nice duo.
Soul, what's going on? Here we go.
Catches the Jakiro. That might just need to be a give up there.
Not the big kill,
Not
but
really the hero you want.
it still secures them the area, kind of. Like, I don't know if Tiger's going to be like, oh, Lasso's down, let's go fight.
Yeah, they have to
So
leave.
in the Boom games earlier today, that would be the point where like they would jump in and try and take that fight afterwards, save their Jakiro, we noticed.
Yeah.
Tiger's showing a lot of restraint there.
Yeah, you can't overcommit. When someone's already picked off their dead, they're dead. Just leave them be. Don't turn one death into 2, 3,
Especially
4 or
when
more.
it's a Jakiro. He's just doing that all game anyway.
Yep. It's like the reverse MP, you know. MP hardly dying in all out games today, and then you got 1437, making space.
He's making up for it.
Yeah. Jesus, Morphling is out of control.
He's a serious problem. And the Mirana's actually sitting on 10,000 net worth too. She is also an issue. She's been sitting in the top lane, constantly pressuring
They've nothing really to kill the Morphling.
Oh, Batrider could keep... Man, oh, come on. Man up. Man up. Take him off that tree. Come on, dude.
That's scary. He didn't have lasso.
He doesn't have lasso, yeah. With lasso, you definitely go for that.
If he hops off the tree as you blink forward, it's like you just die.
Just stuns you, drops the Monkey King ult.
22 minutes, 1,000 gold lead. It does have the feeling of one of those games where it could change really quickly and suddenly a team is going to be massively in the lead. Depends kind of on how these fights get taken. God, Ron is very, very farmed. Double Lincoln.
This is one of those unfortunate situations where the fights are going to depend entirely on who Doom dooms and whether or not he can get a Doom off before he dies or they lose the fight. But he's just gone for this tanky build, so it's very hard for him to actually get in and use the Doom. So there's a lot of pressure on him and not all that much that he can do unless he plays these fights extremely well or Boom ID totally mess up these fights, especially with like the Lincoln Spheres coming out. It makes it even harder.
Boom playing really good Dota here, having the wards down already, and then Tigers drop a Sentry and Observer of their own, able to back up, and they'll probably be able to de-ward those shortly. And still, Morphling farming, going towards the Scotty. Hits really, really hard.
Yeah, just help him tank up, fight the Monkey King a bit better. Be not as susceptible to the Weaver as well.
I feel like Doom needs a Lincoln's Breaker or something. It's really tough.
Yeah, maybe a creep. Maybe a creep that can do that.
Yeah. Especially now that there's a second Lincoln's coming with the Mirana. Just life is so difficult when there's no good Doom targets.
Yeah.
Batrider's going to be hiding in trees, like more likely to grab you before you Doom him. So.
Dire are scanning.
I like that he went for the blink though. It's really, really crucial that he gets these Dooms off on either like the Bat before he lassos, maybe the Grimstroke before he uses ulti, Brood before he uses ulti. Realistically, Morph and Mirana aren't going to happen anymore with the Lincoln Spheres, but these other heroes are very effective to Doom still.
Jump forward, find one.
That's how you don't get Doom off.
There you go. Ice path down, needing to run away. 1437 gets the pushback there as well, and that is going to be a dead hero. So 2 down as they look for more. Zephyr was lifted up, and he is eventually going to be brought down as well.
Just going from one kill to the next. Roche is back up too if they want to go for that with the Morphling. Get him an Aegis and you're in pretty good shape.
Games feel so easy to execute when you have a Batrider on your team. It's basically just about lassoing like the right target, and then it doesn't even matter where the rest, like his team can be right next to him. You lasso, like you pull somebody out of position, right? So it doesn't matter. You just get the right target and they die, and then the enemy team can't fight you, even if they're together, unless they have some way to like deal with the lasso as soon as you go in. There isn't anything. They could lift, but I don't know. The lift isn't gonna do anything. He's not.
But also add that the games feel pretty easy when you have this unkillable Morphling. Like
that
even
too, yeah.
not outside the fact he's out farming everyone, having like an amazing game getting these kills. It's just there's nothing on the Dire side that answers the Morphling problem.
Yeah.
Silence, the Grimstroke ulti, it's on to 2
Oh,
of
Weaver
them. They
walked into
got
a
them
stun.
both caught as well and in a ton of trouble. They buy back immediately on the Weavers. He wants to get into this. It's a Doom on the Brewmaster, but he didn't even have ultimate. So just trying to get that on whoever they could. Roche down to very low HP. The stun comes in on Ajit. They got him caught a second time now, able to find that kill. It's a dieback on the Weaver. Wonder Kid wanting to get something, anything, to his team back on the map, and
oh, nice
looks
dodge.
like they are going to be able to chase them down, or maybe another round of this one. Nice stun as well.
Mirana survives through that
They're
all.
actually going to get this monkey.
Yeah. They baited him so hard to get into this one. Really well played by Makoto.
4 dead.
That was such a sick dodge. Right at the last second too, so he's just baiting it.
God. It did cost them a buyback on the Grimstroke, but that is well worth it.
He could have like immediately just ran away, and then that wouldn't have happened because like running up and making the monkey think that he was going there was really important. Imagine having the presence of mind to like think about killing the Monkey King as you're about to die to the Monkey King. It's like, I'm gonna bait this guy. It's in that hectic team.
I do not have the Dota skills to pull those kind of plays off.
I don't have the reaction time. I'm old.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It happens, yeah. When you hit your 25, you know, the reaction times, they
You're
just
done.
disappear,
You're
yeah.
done.
Your
It's
pro
all
career ends.
over. Uh-oh,
And
Fermion.
something that never started.
Fermion, stolen ice path. Turn it. He didn't get the switch over to strength fourth morph.
Okay.
Gonzo.
Alright.
The beginning of the ruination.
Nice spot there again, and
Can they bring him down in
Yeah.
time? Yes, indeedy. Duty, they got him. The Grimstroke ultimate's through, but where's the damage? They don't have it. Nobody is taking any damage at all, and the Brew Split is out. Can they chase down these heroes
Bat
any
so low,
further?
They can't do anything.
Oh.
Dire's bottom
respawning into the
tower
ice
is
path,
under
just getting instantly disabled, and Morphling able to be killed twice there.
Uh-oh, and Brew, the last one down, is going to face the Wrath. They didn't even lose the tier 3 tower.
Oh my, Morphling, he lost his ginormous streak too. We're gonna, what's the recap say?
Dire's bottom
It hurts.
tower is under attack.
There's streak experience now too. You get a lot from that.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're going to lasso. They're trying to bait that out. Well played.
Took the bait. As Monkey King goes.
Oh my god, that was a ballsy jump.
Oh, and a little late there.
Dire's bottom
I guess he
tower
figured, you know,
is
the
under
bat's
attack.
already fireflied away, so.
That has
Zephyr
not-
stealing Ice Path, insane right there too in those last couple fights. Like if he doesn't have Ice Path, Morphling doesn't die.
Wait,
Dire are scanning.
stealing Ice Path. He stole Ice Path from Morphling. Morphling morphed into Jakiro.
Oh.
I was sitting there wondering. I was like, what are you talking
Was there
about?
3? There must have been like 3 ice paths.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it
low
looked like
enough
3 ice
cooldown.
paths too. I was like, I just saw ice everywhere, and then there's a macro pyre. I'm
ice-
like, what is going on?
He stole a spell from his team. these Morphling
Morph
mechanics.
Rubik Games.
God. I was so confused when you were saying that. I was like, Lyrical's got to be wrong on this one. And then he just has Ice Path.
Well, because the first time they killed him before the Aegis was with
Yeah.
Ice Path. And I was, in the moment, I'm just like, oh, Ice Path is that short a cooldown? Like,
Yeah.
I guess.
Rubik's the morph counter.
But yeah, they had a second Ice Path for when he came out of Aegis.
You think you're better than me? Whew, I'm the real stealer.
That's some good shit.
7.20, I suppose.
I
The
think
Ice
could've
Path
done a
actually
last
lasts
one.
longer. He's better than he's a better Jakiro than the Jakiro on
He's
his
a better
team.
everything, man.
Yeah.
That's just
Jump in,
Rubik. He's like, I'll take your spells and do them better.
Doesn't have
I'll
Ice
take
Path
more of my
anymore. Wonder
spells.
Kid trying to live. Not gonna happen. Stay away from other heroes because he's soul binded for the moment. Dodge it. Trying to jump, trying to get out of there. Doom on the west side of that fight, rather. Is it going to be able to find this Mirana? And, well, maybe going to be able to get themselves a kill. Deny, not there in time. And trying to run forward further is Rubik. He's still silenced. And with the Morph jumping forward, the Ink Swell, it's more than enough to take down the Doombringer. So 2 dead, 3 dead, and looks like it might be a 4th.
No.
Yes. It's going to drop down and a triple kill for
Oh, it's a gem. It's a gem, too. Also, I just had the realization during that fight that Rubik could steal his own spells. Morph uses
Like his
lift.
own Fade Bolt?
He could
Yeah.
steal his own lift and use lift twice.
Would it go on
Does that
cooldown,
actually
though?
work?
I don't know.
I bet you.
I mean,
they
he
both
stole his
go on
own
cooldown.
team's Ice Path.
Yeah. But that's kind of different to stealing your own spells. But I'm curious about that now.
I would imagine that it goes on cooldown
I don't
the
know.
same as the other one.
I don't know about the cooldowns, but I know you can there's no way you
Dire's
can't
middle
steal it.
tower
You can steal your
is
own
under
team's
attack.
Ice Path.
Yeah.
With Weaver dead, they
Dire's
can't
middle
contest this.
tower has fallen.
But he's up in 8.
And
So
they
might be able
finish
to
the
do
melee
something.
Rex. Vervium wants it, and
Boundless Strike. Open it up. Oh, Bat Rider getting
That
testy.
bit of a feat, but they got Rax. It's fine.
Now he's going to switch over to the Monkey King.
Help? No. That's why you do the my bad on the chat wheel, my friend.
Yeah.
He dropped the gem. He just
Bat
fed the
did?
gem. Yeah, he fed the gem back.
Okay. Yeah, you need to bring out something else on your chat wheel.
Yeah.
That's a whoops.
Was that his gem in
That's
the
a
first place, or
whoops.
was that the Rubik's gem? It's on Monkey.
Where's he at?
It's been a bit of a hot potato with the gem.
I can't see it.
It's a
because
Zephyr.
It's a Zephyr. Okay. So it was.
Returns
So he's
to
got
its
he's
rightful
got it
owner.
back. Monkey's like, I'm not giving it to you. You're gonna lose it.
So
I mean, it's 30 to 16, but oddly, I feel like Tigers have been making a lot of strides back into this, and I feel like they can fight now.
they kind of were, and then that bad fight happened just then. They lose the Rax, but as a whole, the last 15 minutes has looked pretty stable for them, other than that one mess up, which happens to lose some racks because they're versing Morphling. So we'll see if they can bounce back.
Switches over into the Doom and now going to walk forward. Inkswell as well. And they can get work, though. It's a big stun coming through. Vervine pops the cheese, though, actually, or rather just gets back up to full HP. And, well, just like that, it starts to look terrible. That's the regen coming through.
They tried to kill him in the Doom form, but didn't do enough damage, and then he's back to full health.
Zephyr is also going to be brought down for dead. Well, turns out they can't fight.
Yeah,
Hell of buyback.
Turns out Morph is still a perfectly fine, legitimate carry as well.
None of these heroes really contest Morph's carry potential in the late game either. Even Monkey King, it's like a team fighting carry, but in terms of raw damage, Morphling is just leaps and bounds above any other hero in this game. Out of these 10 heroes, it's like a Terrorblade, you know.
Except he does things.
Except he's not useless.
Yeah.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
I'm sure Terrorblade's actually still pretty good. I'm sure he's fine. Maybe not into Morph. I'm sure it's fine.
Dude, I don't know. I'm a hater. I'm a Terrorblade hater.
Didn't look great when we saw it yesterday in Mineski's hands, but that was also against a pretty scary-looking TNC.
Yeah.
Another Moonlight Shadow. Getting so much value out of this, but they will run into a Sentry.
I can't help but notice that Brutus has 2 mangoes in his stack.
Can't sell them.
From the laning stage, maybe he didn't use it last year. Well, Doom down. They may look to push high ground here. Top lane is possibly the next target. We'll be doing this without Lasso and Primal Split up. Not quite yet.
And Morphling still just very comfortable sitting here. And second Boundless Strike comes out from Vervine himself. Harrow a little bit off the mark. Pulling back in that Bat Rider with the Ice Path down on top of it. They have the Wukong's command out, starting to bring him down low. No more mana on that Bat Rider. He is going to die. It looks like they're also going to lose the Jakiro, though. And with the Soulbind through onto 2, they're chasing forward the Vervine. He's really a Morphling, but really, he's just a monster. As they lose yet another. The Barrack's going to go down. Good game, well played call. Boom ID, pull it back. Force the game 3.
Decider. Let's do this. Boom ID showing some last minute fight. It's still there.
I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if they knocked Tigers out?
Yeah.
You guys won the minor.
Yep.
This is a real team. Real serious team. I think the Bat pick was just perfect.
Yeah, totally.
I do think like there's no reason to lose the lane like that with Bat when there's options, but in the game, it was so strong.
Yeah, despite all the deaths in the laning stage, he still had a fantastic performance, and then Morphling having no solution as well. Like
21-9. Jeez.
Yeah, this Morph was pretty handy. The Mirana also had a great game. The Moonlight Shadow usage, just allowing them to make so many plays around the map. Even when it was being detected, it was just off. I feel like every time it was off cooldown, they were like, okay, Moonlight Shadow, let's try find a pick with Lasso or make a play happen. And it was just this constant pressure, and it just felt like Tigers couldn't really do anything about it.
God. Yeah, just using the Moonlight as like a smoke essentially is a lot of the time just as effective as using it to like position yourself into a fight or get out of a fight or something like that, especially if you have a Bat.
So we're 2 days in only, but my hot take with the new patch, I think Doom's still garbage.
I've actually been feeling the same thing, despite I really liked it at the start of the patch. It feels like you're just tanky. Yeah. That's kind of
your ultimate is still a bad ultimate.
Yeah,
it's too telegraphed. It's people just back off. They heal the person or something. I don't know. It just
that's the
seem
problem.
Good.
It's telegraphed, and there are solutions. Like the ultimate is good, but not. Well, I guess it's not good if there are things that are good against it. There's just things that deal with it very effectively.
I like the idea, though. Imagine if Doom was like, really, all right, this guy's doomed. He takes damage until he dies, and it can't be denied. What if that was the ultimate?
Like you're permanently doomed?
You're permanently doomed.
I mean, that'd be kind of OP, right?
It just kills you?
Well, yeah,
like if you do somebody, they're guaranteed to be eventually dead.
And you can't
and
deny
undeniable.
That's...
So you're telling me an ability
that
just instantly kills somebody?
No, not instantly kill somebody.
Okay, it will eventually kill somebody.
Exactly.
That was like the Warcraft 3 Doom did that, right?
Did it really?
I think so. Like but you couldn't use it on heroes. You could only use it on creeps.
Here's the question. Now think about that. The most insane iteration of this current ultimate.
Yeah.
Would the hero be good?
Yeah, it'd be kind of
Yeah,
it would still be good.
I think so.
There's still solutions. He's got Lincoln's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like what the
that.
Aghanim Scepter does, but you have to.
There would still be solutions, but you just instantly go into an item to break Lincolns and then
Would there be
do
solutions?
important heroes.
I guess Manta, you just have to not get doomed.
Yeah,
Or have
exactly.
buyback.
Or have Rubik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
And
Late game
steal the
Doom's ultimate cooldown is pretty damn long. It's like, what, 140 or something?
Yeah.
If you have buyback, well, you get doomed, you die. All right, buyback, and guess what? You have no ultimate.
That is another problem with the hero, the fact that it's the cooldown is so long.
Super long cooldown, not good against Aegis, not good against buybacks, Telegraph, Lincoln's.
I'm just imagining somebody now in my made-up scenario of like, you get doomed and then he goes to Fountain and is like, I didn't read the patch note. Why am I not being stopped to doom?
You just gotta go like feed to Roche or something.
No, he just sits in the fountain for the rest of the game.
You can't deny yourself. Can you feed Roche?
Yeah. I don't know. Doom just seems trash.
I think one of the large issues with this hero is like the same issue with Pudge, where he has low base movement speed, and you really only build into like at least from what I've seen with the builds, people only build into phase boots.
Right.
So it's really hard to chase somebody down with the Doom. You just have very little mobility. You are very easy to catch out of position, which we saw happen a lot in that game, just because you're not the old Shadowblade Drums Doom where you're running across the map at hasted movement.
Well,
speeds.
you're like you're as a 3 position, like in this meta, it's like your job is to get all these tanky items, like these pipes, these crimsons, whatever. But then to get Doom off, you have to waddle your way into a fight, and you're still killable. Like you get stunned or something, you're just not going to get a good Doom off.
That's the thing. I think at the start of this patch, people were picking heroes that couldn't kill Doom against Doom, and then Doom was good. But when you have like a Bat Rider, that hero does not give a single damn about any amount of regen that you have, any amount of armor that you have. Even magic resist. He does enough magic damage that he can tear through. Like you need something to purge the napalms, and Doom doesn't have that.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough conundrum. Don't know if they're going to be picking it next time, but we do have 10 out of 10 lobby, so we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back right after that with more from the Southeast Asian qualifiers.